Hi everyone, I'm Liz and welcome back to Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch for Flosstube episode Lucky 13.
It's a Halloween Spooktacular.
Thank you so much for joining me this week. I have a lot of fun stuff in front of me, 2 Halloween finishes, and with this being episode 13, I was like, it's the Halloween episode. So, I put on some black and let's get spooky with cross stitch and quilting. Ooh, spoiler alert, there's a quilt involved. I want to start out by saying a huge thank you to all of the super sweet and lovely comments on last week's video that featured my mom. She's read through the comments. She has a huge head. She's like completely insufferable now, so thank you. I'm just kidding. No, it was so much fun last week, and I'm so glad you all enjoyed it, and I'm sure she'll be back. Yeah, so thank you so much. We had a lot of fun. So for this week's episode, I have 2 finishes to show you, and I'm going to wrap up my sampler September stitching, and I'm going to talk about upcoming plans and what I think I'm going to be stitching on these next few months leading up to Christmas. Some holiday stitching, definitely. So I'm going to do a little stash dive and show you some things that I'm itching to start and things I feel like I want to work on. So yeah, let's just get started. I'm going to start with a finish from my mom. I don't have the chart in front of me, but it's the Lizzie Kate sampler clause. And my mom had shown you this in progress last week. And look, she finished it. So cute. And so she dropped it off at her finisher yesterday. And it's 5x5. That's the design on 32 count is 5x5. And so I was looking online, and you know those Mill Hill frames that you see in every cross stitch shop? The inside width is 6x6, which I think would be perfect for this. The only hard part is picking a color online. The red looks a little more kind of faded country red than this kind of bright. But they also have this plum color online. The frames are only like $15 so far everywhere I've seen online. So I think I'm gonna order one of those Mill Hill frames and see about framing this for her. That's kind of my plan. So I need to get online and order a Mill Hill frame, or maybe call one of my local shops and see if they have one. Yeah, so be excited to finish this one up for her. She stitched this on 32 count mystery color linen, Zweigert linen, and it is with all the called for DMC colors, 2/2. Next up, I have a Halloween FFO to show you. This will be no surprise because I showed it to you finished a couple of weeks ago. So excited about this one. It's Almost Halloween by the Drawn Thread, and I turned it into a little sign. I got very country crafts on this. I painted some little candy corn on a little ghosty, and I did take a video of this one that I'm sure you're watching right now, or you will be in a minute, of how I finished this one. It took me about an hour and a half all total. I did it in a couple stages yesterday. So the sped up video is a little bit long. It's like 3 minutes. So hopefully it's still fun to watch and see how this piece came together. Yeah, I mean, basically I just mounted the stitching on some mat board and then mounted it to the wood piece. Well, after I had painted and sanded and waxed it. And then I did things a little bit out of order. I should have painted the sign before I mounted the needlework, but I didn't have the idea to paint until after I'd already mounted it. So Don't be alarmed at me holding paint so close to my finished cross stitch piece. I promise I was safe and careful. But yeah, this is my little finished Halloween sign, and enjoy seeing how I made it. Why do I drop things? It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so my other Halloween FFO is a big one. Are you ready? I'm ready. Oh, it's my Halloween quilt. So funny story. I showed you last week that I had the first row sewn together, and I had made kind of a mental plan for myself that I didn't share because I was like, oh, if I don't stick to it, I don't want people looking for a finished quilt top by next video. But I was like, okay, you know, it's 6 rows and I had one done on Sunday. So I was like, every single weeknight, Monday through Friday, I was like, I'm gonna work on another row. I'm gonna finish another row. And that way I have a finished quilt top by next weekend. And then I'll book my quilting appointment. So it got to be Wednesday and I had stayed on track getting my rows done. And I was like, let me look for a quilting appointment and see what they have, you know, maybe even this weekend or next week. And they didn't have anything. They were all so booked up. And I was like, dang, I really want to quilt this. But they had one 3-hour time slot on Friday afternoon. So like 2 days ago. And this was on Wednesday night that I booked it. Yeah, so that led to me working all day on Thursday and then staying up a little bit late on Thursday night to piece the rest of the quilt and get it ready for quilting on Friday afternoon. And I'm so glad I did. I mean, you know, it's about to be October. I wanted my Halloween quilt finished. Here's the fun floral backing. And I used some orange binding. I have a video of the whole quilt that I'll insert so you can see the whole thing, but I just did a 9-patch Irish chain quilt. I used bamboo blend batting. I think it was a Quilter's Dream Orient batting for the first time, and I'm in love with it. It is so thin and like very luxurious and soft feeling and squishy. But here in Texas, I don't love a thick puffy quilt. I want something thin and like summer weight all year round. So this is perfect. And I just thought I would show you one thing. If you're a quilter, you probably already do this, but instead of sewing a block onto my quilt to kind of identify, you know, the quilt and that I've made it, I bought these printed ribbons on Etsy that just say handmade by me. And I sew them into the corner of all my quilts. So if I gift them or if they're mine or, you know, whatever. So they just are my little tag. You can Google like or search on Etsy and find things like this. And yeah, that's just my fun little way of marking my quilts. Okay, so that was my Halloween quilt. Yay! You can find me October 1st, snuggled under this watching Hocus Pocus. Ugh, and spilling my water. Am I dropping things and spilling things? Okay, let's get into what else I worked on this week. And first up, as always, is my Christmas stocking. And I feel like I made some pretty good progress on this. I was looking back at some of my videos I posted, like I think it was episode 5 or 6, and I was looking at my stocking then and I was like, yeah, okay, I've made a lot of progress. So this one is fun to see come together. Oops, let me open that up a little bit. Ooh, I gotta keep backing up, man. Okay, so here's where the stocking's at. So you can see I've fully rounded that heel and I'm just coming across to the toe. So I added another little train car and I did some more back stitching over here. And I think I did a little more back stitching over here somewhere and kept just adding stuff to Santa. Love this. Really feel like, so this needs to be done by the end of October. So I've got about 4 weeks and I think it should be no problem. I just need to make sure it gets 1 or 2 days a week and I should have it wrapped up. I'm very excited. This is the Kooler Design Studio Heirloom Study Stocking. Heirloom Stocky Holiday Study. I don't know, I always say it in the wrong order, but you can find it easily on Kooler's website. And the called for 25 count mushroom Lugana with all the called for DMC colors. And it is beautiful and I love it. I've also heard from several of you that you have started stitching the Quilter Studio stocking and I love that. It is such a cool stocking. So if you ever post Instagram photos of you working on any of these stockings, please tag me or DM me and send it to me because I really want to see. I love these. I think I've mentioned this before, but I love Brenda at Handwork Maniacs channel, and she's the one who inspired me with these stockings. I hadn't seen them before. I guess a year or 2 ago when she was working on her daughter-in-law's, and she kept showing progress, I was like, what are these? I need these. And so I found the patterns and downloaded them, and yeah, just obsessed. I love them. And now it turns out like everybody has these. One of my close friends at work, her mom, so she's a triplet. She has a brother and a sister, and her mom made the 3 of them these stockings, and she sent me a photo of them a while back, which is great. Like, you know, she still has them, and I just think it's great that, you know, so many people have these stockings, and I love them. Next this week, I pulled out my Christmas garden. And this is the very first sampler I started this month for Sampler September. And I started it as a stitch along with Celeste Creates. And so many of you guys have joined in with us and I so appreciate it. I was just looking through the hashtag yesterday and I was like, I am gonna give a little shout out to everyone who is stitching along with me and Celeste. Okay, well first I'm gonna show you mine and then I will show you everyone else's. Ooh, here we go. Here's my Christmas garden. Love it. I did change my colors. I changed the red to Ruby Slippers by Gast, and I changed the gold to Bee's Knees by Weeks. And then I'm using the called for green and brown. And I just love this one. I'm really excited. I'm working on this big center motif right now. I don't think I can realistically have this one done by Christmas, just with all the other like ornaments and things I want to make, but I do want to keep working on it in season. So this one will continue to see some love. Okay, so now I want to show you everyone else who's stitching along with me and Celeste. I'm going to read from my computer while I flash everyone's Instagrams up on the screen. So first is Donna Monk 756, Stitcher 1955, Cross Stitch by Britta, Chrissy Peffley, Jen Walker 63, Cynthia Brew, Roxy Vore, and 2 Laura Banks. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who is stitching along. It is so much fun to see everyone's progress. It keeps me motivated. Every time, you know, I see someone else's photo, I'm like, oh, I need to get mine out and stitch on it. So yeah, I'm so glad everyone is stitching along, and thanks for joining us. Okay, so then this week for my sampler September plans, I pulled out my Consider the Lilies to work on this. And I had so much fun working on it this week. Oh no, there's still, why do I do this? I just like leave my needle, hold on. Okay, fix that. Now here is my Consider the Lilies. So I think I just put 1 day on this, but I got, let me see if I can point out what I did. I worked on this tree. So I ripped out my mistake that I had made down here and then just worked on this right half of the tree, and it is lovely. I love the 2 different kind of red pinks that are used for the apples and the 2 different greens. It really gives it a lot of dimension. And it is super fun to stitch. I love how like big the tree is and compared to everything else, because it's kind of like the big centerpiece. So yeah, that's the progress I made this week on Consider the Lilies. And I'm stitching this on a 40 count R&R reproduction. Is it Beach Brew or Winter's Brew? It'll be in the description box below. Pretty sure this is Winter's Brew, but I'm stitching on 40 count, and so I'm just using 1/2, and I'm using all the called for colors except for a couple that I couldn't find that I subbed its closest, you know, look-alike. But in spirit, I'm stitching with all of the called for colors, and I'm loving it. Okay, and the last thing that I stitched on this week was my new start, my last new start for Sampler September, and it was Sally Spencer, which was one of my unicorn charts that I found about a month ago. I think this is probably what caused me to make Sampler September, because I was like, I've got to start it. Let me give myself a reason instead of just starting it, because I need a game. Anyways, but this came from somebody's D-stash, and she had reached out knowing that I was looking for these charts, and so she's like, oh, I have one. I'm gonna sell. You know, do you want to buy it? And I was like, yes, please. So I got Sally Spencer, and let me show you the start I made. Here she is. Love it. Got the first row in and started on the second, just kind of working top down on this one. And I decided on a plan for the initials, so I've started adding, there's my little ET up there. And I added in my mom and my sister and my aunt. I decided that I was gonna fill this with 13 of the craftiest women in my family. So I was texting with my mom last week, and I was like, okay, let's do this. 2-letter initials for Aunt Patsy, Aunt Norma, Cousin Julie, like just, you know, everyone I could think of. Speaking of which, so my cousin Julie, she is my mom's age, but she's my first cousin. And growing up, when we would go to her house, I was obsessed. She had this craft room. So she used to do like the craft fairs and I don't know, just like the antique shows or whatever, like just those kind of craft shows that I think used to be big in like the 80s and 90s. Like I remember my mom taking us and she'd buy like handmade wooden furniture or handmade wooden toys or just, you know, things like that. It was, I don't know, do they still have those kind of things? I guess they do like the Christmas bazaars sometimes. But anyways, like, you know, country craft shows. But so my cousin Julie always did them. And so she had this craft room just filled with different wood and paint and tools because she would make these little wooden, like I'm thinking like right now of like a wooden doll that sat on a window ledge with like little wire corkscrew legs, little wood feet, and it was all hand painted with like crazy yarn hair and had some sort of silly saying on it. You know, I don't know if you can imagine what I'm talking about in my head, but I just loved it. And I was so jealous that was like her job. And I was like, oh, how fun is that? So my cousin Julie, I'm going to put her initials in here too, because she was, you know, I feel like one of my kind of crafty inspirations when I was a little kid. But yeah, so that's what I decided to do with all of the initials. And so I'm just putting them in as I work my way down. And I'm stitching this on 36 count vintage sand dune by Lakeside Linens. And I'm using mostly called for colors. So I was looking at it last week. I am using Blackbird by Gast. And I guess the called for is Black Crow. And so I don't know if I misordered or if I got the wrong skein, because I ordered all these together for this pattern. I probably just clicked the wrong black, but I really love it. So I'm using the Blackbird instead of the Black Crow. I think it's just a little bit of a bluer black. And then the other thing I switched out is I had tried to use the buttermilk for the white, and it just blended into sand dune too much. It was too yellow. So I switched to grits, which I need to get another skein of. So my white is a little bit brighter than the buttermilk, but I wanted it to show up on this fabric. So yeah, that's Sally Spencer. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is, now that my sampler September is over, what am I going to be stitching on? And I mentioned it last week that I'm really itching to get to like some seasonal stitching again. I did my fall frenzy at the end of August to kind of get myself some finished fall and Halloween pieces, and that really worked. And so now it's pretty close to October 1st, and I don't know that I have time, maybe a couple of them, to fully finish any more Halloween decor pieces, but that's not going to stop me from starting some. And then I'll just have a go, you know, just have them started and ready to go for next season to finish up, or just finish now and, you know, just fully finish them next year. So I did a little stash dive of some charts I've been wanting to start and a couple of things that I want to get back to for the next couple of months. So let me show you what I pulled out. I'm going to start with the kind of fall and Halloween pieces. And I may have shown you some of these charts in haul several videos ago. I don't know. But let's go through them. The first one is Witch's Night Out by Brenda Gervais. Just so cute. I love that witch. Yeah, and I probably have most of the colors for this, so this one I do have all the colors for because they're all in here. So this one is probably likely going to get started very soon. And this one is Olga's Tart by Plum Street Samplers. And I have the little tart pans because I've done a Christmas one of these tarts. I bet I could even, stop. No, I'm not even going to say I could probably finish in the next week. No, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I also really want to stitch this Goodness and Plenty, and I feel like that would be great for Thanksgiving, and so I really feel like I should start that and get it finished sometime in October to put out for kind of Thanksgiving. I also really laughed. Did anybody watch Pam and Steph this week when Steph was going through her haul and she was pulling out charts and she was like, this is Elizabeth Ann's fault. Yeah, this is one of the charts she bought, and I think she couldn't even remember if it was from me or not. It was. I showed this a while ago. But anyways, it's great. It's a great chart. So I think this is first up on my agenda. And then I love this little bird and I love the sampler back here. So yeah. Goodness and Plenty by Plum Street. Oh, the next one is so small. I could just do this today. Maybe I'll do this today while I watch football. I don't know. This is Heart in Hand Creeping It Round. It is so cute. And it comes, I don't want to show you the chart, but it comes with the little beads attached. So it has like everything you need. The only thing I don't have is a good idea on how to finish it, because I don't have these bowls and I probably, won't get it. And the only round finish I've done is a tart pan, but this is too small for a tart pan. So I don't know, I guess I could just do a round flat finish. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it, but love this little guy and want to work on him sometime soon. Oh, the other one I'm definitely gonna start soon, although it's not gonna get done for this year. But I got the Scarlett House Autumn Alphabet while I was in San Antonio. And if you remember last week, I was talking about those little horn books from Hobby Lobby. And so many of you were like, oh yeah, I can't find them either. But a couple of you could, and I'll get to that in Happy Mail. But I went on, I think it was Carol Saltbox Stitcher, which, hi Carol, if you're watching. It's so exciting that Carol watches my videos, or she watched last week's, because she left me a lovely comment and said that Homestead, I'll link it below. I'm going to say the wrong name, but I think it's Homestead Needleworks. Actually, maybe that says on the chart. Yes, Homestead Needleworke. So I'll put their Etsy shop in the drop down, but they made this board for finishing the Autumn Alphabet. So I went online and bought that and several other things. I think that shipment is supposed to come on Monday, so you can see all that stuff in next week's haul. But yeah, so I'm gonna have the board to finish this on. I think I got the 40 count board, so I'm very excited to start this one. Actually, Cynthia Brew is doing that Great Pumpkin Sal, hashtag the Great Pumpkin Sal, and they're stitching on pumpkin things in October, and they're trying to raise money for her son-in-law's Freedom Shield charity. And so maybe this is what I'll use for my stitch along piece, and yeah, get that started, because it does have a great big pumpkin, so it's perfect. Okay, so the last Halloween chart is Scarlett House Fall Frolic. And I'm pretty sure I saw this recently in Hollis Hands Creates Flosstube video, which if you're not watching her, she has great videos. She works on a lot of cool stuff. She has an Etsy shop. And she's based out of Texas, so I've ordered from her and it's super quick. So any other Texas stitchers, I'll link her below. But she has a cool floss tube, and she stitched this one, and I saw it in the background of her latest video, and yeah, I love this. It's very like reminiscent of that Barbara Anna piece I just did. So yeah, I really want to do this one as well. I want to do everything. Who has the time? I'm gonna figure it out. Eventually I will get to all of this. Okay, and let's look at some Christmas stuff I want to do, which is a lot. I want to do every pattern in this book. This is the Deck the Halls Strawberry book by Blackbird Designs. I think I walked you through, yes, the Christmas cactus. I think I want to be my first one. Look how cute that is. I bought so many strawberry patterns recently and I haven't stitched any of them, and I want to stitch them all, so something's gonna get started out of this. And I'll probably, will I turn it into an ornament? No, I'll probably use it in the pillow bowl. Yeah, or maybe both. I don't know. Let's get crazy. I've got a lot of these strawberries to make. The other strawberry that I have the fabric for and everything, so it's definitely getting started soon, is this Jingleberry from Erica Michaels. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Next up are these Spirit of Christmas ornament patterns. There's 2 different sets, and I really want to stitch this little Noel bird here, and then the ice skate I love. Oh, and the love with the ornaments. They're all adorable, but those are the kind of first ones that jumped out at me. So I need to do some more ornaments this year. Oh, the other ones I really want to do for my nephews. Am I gonna have time? We'll see. They're Plum Street Samplers Noah's Christmas Ark, and it's the giraffes and the crocodiles. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know they would love them. My nephews are 5 and 2.5, and they are obsessed with like zoos. They just love going to the zoo. Lately here in Texas, they've been doing these drive-through zoos at the different zoos around Texas, so that you don't have to get out and interact with other people, you know, so you can stay in your car and be safe. So they've been doing that with my parents and with Allison and her husband. So anyways, I just think they would really love these little giraffes and crocodiles. So cute. And then the last Christmas project is my Barbara Anna's Santa's Trip. And I really want to stitch on this. I don't think I'm gonna have it finished by Christmas, but I want to work on it. That's the first, well, it's really the 3rd block because I start on the right, but that's the first block I'm working on. And I haven't made any progress in a couple of weeks, but I feel like I'm gonna work on this week because I really want to get back to it. I'm stitching this with needlepoint ink silks, and I converted from DMC, so the spirit of the colors is the same, just with needlepoint ink silk. And I'm stitching this on 40 count vintage maple syrup by Lakeside Linens. And I love it. Okay, oops, I lied. I have more Christmas stuff. I was like, I feel like there was more Christmas. Yeah, I had another stack. So, okay, I showed this in a haul several weeks ago and caused a little bit of an uproar because I think it's out of print, so forgive me. But this is Winter Wonderland by Blackbird Designs. It's a loose feather pattern 39. Yeah, and so I bought it kitted from Anita's Little Stitches. So I have all of the floss in the chart, and I'm sure I have a suitable piece of linen. What does it call for? Let's see if I have the called for. Dark Chino by R&R. Never even heard of that one. Okay, so I don't have the called for. That's okay. Anyways, I want to start this one real soon. I feel like a Startapalooza coming on. I don't know. It's probably gonna happen. I hope that doesn't annoy anybody. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm so conflicted. I want to start all the things because I just am really wanting to start a bunch of Christmas stuff. I feel like I did this last year too. But then I've also just been going through all my sampler whips and I really want to finish some of them. We'll find out what happens. We'll see. But anyways, that's Winter Wonderland. The next is a chart I've had for a couple of years, and I got it in a D-stash. I have no idea if it's out of print. I feel like Carriage House Samplings, you can usually find their old charts and or they're reprinted. I don't know. But this is an old Carriage House sampling. I'm trying to find the year. On the back, the story is about watching an episode of ER, so that should tell you it dates it a little bit, right? Although ER was on for like 20 years, wasn't it? But yeah, this is Sally's Feather Tree by Carriage House Samplings. It's so cute. And to be honest, the only reason I haven't started it, because I love it, is the amount of over one. The whole chart. So basically, this stuff under the tree and the little quilt stars around the tree are, and the tree itself, like the tree and the branches, are over 2, like normal crosses. But every single one of those little ornaments is over 1. So am I gonna start this? Probably not, but I want to. I love it. I just like, oh, I enjoy seeing it. It's a really pretty chart. It's got like little American flags hanging in the tree. It's kind of hard to see the photo, but there's little Santa ornaments and candy canes and reindeer and squirrels and birds and bunnies and a violin. It is real cute, but do I want to stitch that much over one? I don't know. Maybe. Okay, another one that I have kitted up and really want to start is this Barbara Anna. Oh, glare. Let me take it out. Oh God, it's like plastic inside of plastic. Barbara Anna Christmas Joy. And I bought the called for DMC. There's some reds in there. So I kind of want to start that one. Okay, and then the last one that I have kitted that I really want to start is Christmas Eve by Prairie Schooler. Fully influenced by Misty Purcell showing her reframing of her Christmas Eve maybe a few videos ago. And then Lori at Mischievous Stitches, another great Flosstube that I'm sure you all already watch, but if you need another one to watch, Lori, Mischievous Stitches. She just recently finished stitching this and I love it. And she actually did hers on the called for floss, everything, and it was beautiful. I have the called for floss. I don't have the called for fabric. Not sure if I'll do the called for fabric. I really want to stitch 1/2. So I'll have to see what size that would make this. But I really want to stitch Christmas Eve at some point. So that is also on my radar. Okay, so with that, I think we've reached the end of my stash dive. I want to talk Happy Mail for a second. So I got in the mail. Where did I put them? I'm looking around. They're here. So I had mentioned in my last video that I could not find those little cheese boards, those little cutting boards at Hobby Lobby. And Kim from Barbara's Daughter DM'd me and was like, oh my gosh, my Hobby Lobby has tons of them. She's like, do you want a couple? Yes, please. So she very kindly sent me 2 of, let me see, flip that tag around, 2 of the little fall mini charcuterie boards. That's what they're called if you're looking for them. Sounds like it's real hit or miss. Some people were like, yeah, my Hobby Lobby doesn't have any, but I guess some of them do. So I have 2 of these now, and I really want to stitch some kind of Christmas small or something for one of these at least. I have to think about what my plan is, but I'm very excited to have these for finishing. So thank you so much, Kim. Really appreciate it. Thank you. So the only other haul I had this week is just one trip to Hobby Lobby. I've been really good and I have not been ordering new cross stitch charts. Who knows? We'll see how long that streak continues. I have plenty to work on. I just showed you, like 20 things I want to stitch. So why do I need to buy anything new? I do have that order from Homestead Needleworke coming, but that's just one shop. But anyways, for this week, all I have is some Hobby Lobby haul. So I went back and from last week's bird finish, I had shown a finish in these little wooden frames. This one says welcome friends, and this one says hello fall. So I just want to show you these in case you're looking for them at Hobby Lobby. That's what they look like with a little burlap, or not burlap, twine hanger. They are $3.99. So I got 2 more of these so I can complete my little 3 birds in the same way, so I can hang them all up together next spring. And then the other thing I got was some plastic canvas bookmarks. You may remember my mom and I talking about Charlie, my nephew, her grandson, wanting to learn how to stitch. He watches these videos sometimes, and I think a lot of the times, and he loves it. Because he loves YouTube. He loves dinosaur videos and cartoons and whatever. But he thinks it's cool that Aunt Liz is on YouTube. So I think he wants to be on a video, so I'll get him in here. But he wants to learn to stitch. So his Gigi and I told him, we'd help him out. So we got I got some plastic canvas bookmarks and some tapestry, some like blunt tipped tapestry needles. So he can give it a go. I'll make sure to share updates if I have them on that. And then the other thing was that my sister Sarah asked me to get her some DMC. So that means she's starting a new project, which is really exciting. She had previously done a Satsuma Street that I'd fully finished for her several weeks ago. And I don't remember if this is another Satsuma Street. She'll have to tell me. But Sarah can pick up your floss so you can start your next cross stitch. Yeah, so that's all the haul I had this week. And I think that's it. I think I've shared everything I have this week. It was a really fun week. I did a lot of sewing to get my quilt done. I had a lot of fun fully finishing my Halloween piece, my It's Almost Halloween, this weekend, and I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye.